start? All right, my ladies. So we have Darby here who's going to be speaking on onboarding and systems. Super excited. I'm just going to go ahead and just turn the full time over to you, and then we can, of course, ask questions once we are done. So go ahead and kick it off, girlfriend.
Okay, awesome. So this is really a great topic for me because I feel like I just found my perfect solution, and I know it's going to change because it changes all the time after a couple months, but for right now this is what's kind of working for me, and it might be something that you guys are already doing, but it's just like the schedule I put it on for the month that is just so perfect for how my business is running right now. So what I do is the last week of the month is when I run a sneak peek, and it's just a 2-day sneak peek. And usually it's majority of my previous challengers that are in there, but I do have a lot of, I also have people who just want to know about the business in there, but I feel like it's the perfect timing when like a 21-day fix challenge or a 30-day challenge is ending for them to get into a sneak peek right before their next Shakeology ships out. So I just kind of tell them, hey, if you wanted to know what I do as a coach, you're already in my challenge group, you kind of see how my business works. And you want to get into a sneak peek. So I do a sneak peek the end of the month, and then it's 2 days. And then right after that, the first Monday of a new month is when I start my new coach training. So I kind of make it that week is like super vital where they have to make a decision because, coach signing up in the beginning of the month is so much better for them. So they have the full month to make Success Club, to earn Emerald, really just learn like all about the business in the first month. So mine is called Empire Building Boss in 10 Days. And I really got this system from my mentor. She's not my upline, but she's 2 levels above me. Her name is Mindy Winder. Hers is called 21 Days to Thrive, but I just condensed it to 10 days since she was doing like 1 post a day. That way there's a couple posts a day and they can get all the information right away. Because I found newer coaches some of them like to get the information right away. So they can kind of just get it all, they can, process it. And those who are, slower in the month, they can just go back and look at it. But I feel like I'm having a better success rate with coaches signing up because I'm making it so serious. Okay, this is vital. We're about to do this new coach training. It's only 10 days, but you have to be signed up to get in it. So making that 1 week where I'm saying hey, you got to get signed up right now to get into this is it just has lit a fire under people oh yeah, I got to get in it. And it is true because it's so much better for them. So the first 3 days of my Empire Building Boss in 10 days are just videos of me. So they're videos that I've recorded, and they're really just mostly about mindset. So the first one is figuring out what would be holding you back when you first become a coach. Because, somebody signs up as a coach and then they're like, oh my God, what did I just sign up for? What am I doing? So the first one is figuring out what's holding you back. The second day is creating a positive mindset, so just being in a positive space. And the third one is taking control of your business and taking ownership. So those are really just internal things the first 3 days, nothing to freak them out yet, just kind of getting them in the right mindset. And then day 4 and 5, it's all about branding and social media. So I have a video of Tara Bialek, she's also in my upline, about branding yourself on social media and then making a list about the things that interest you and only posting about those things. So I think that newer coaches, we all know, think that they just need to post about, today I did 21-day fix and here's my containers. But so I think that kind of alleviates, you still get to be yourself, find the things that make you you, and that's how you're going to attract people. And then day 6 through 8 is all about inviting, creating relationships, and challenge groups. So it's kind of near the end is the really meat and potatoes, because I like to just kind of ease them into it, not just okay, now we're going to run a challenge group, right when they get in there. So that's all about creating the relationships, how they're going to invite to a challenge group, and how we're going to run a challenge group together that next month. So anyone who's a new coach will help run the next challenge group with me. And then the last 2 days, day 9 and 10, is all about making Emerald and making Success Club. So within their first 10 days as a coach, they pretty much know everything they need to do their first month as a coach. And then if they're doing the training from the beginning, a lot of them have already made Success Club points, or some of them have already signed up their spouse. You know what I mean? So they're already halfway there and they're like, oh yeah, I'm almost Emerald, or oh, I almost have Success Club, in the last few days. So it's a really basic, it's really simple, but I feel like keeping it condensed and doing it that way has just helped my new coaches so much. So it's probably a lot of things that you guys do too, but that's just how I do it. So it is a system that I got from Mindy Wender. I just made it my own and condensed it. Super simple.
I love it. So let's open it up for questions. What questions do you ladies have? Do you do something similar to it? Is yours longer than 10 days? Is it 3 weeks? Is it a month? Kind of tell me what your thoughts are.
Darby, you said all the videos are you?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're all video, or do you do any do you type out any content?
Well, just the first 3 days are videos.
Okay.
Just the first 3, like mindset, yeah, and then the rest is all content. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you put them all in a group together, or how do you run these in a group?
I do. It's a Facebook group, but I don't create a new group every month. What I do is I just go in, and after the 10 days, I delete, not after the 10 days, but after the month is over, I delete all of the posts, and then I just repost them. I add in the new coaches, so it's actually helppful because there's like 200 people in there right now because all the old new coaches are still in there. So if they missed something or they felt like they fell off track, they see it again. So it's just like a reoccurring Facebook group.
Darby, do you do a GSR with people, or how does that work?
I used to. I used to do a GSR, but I haven't in a long time, actually. I remember I heard Micah Folsom say that she never does GSRs, and I'm like, I would love that, because I always find that my new coaches are trying to get out of GSRs. They're always like, oh, well, actually I can't because, so I feel like it freaks them out more. So if I can have this Facebook group where they can ask me any questions they want, it's more comfortable for them, I feel, and I don't want to freak my new coaches out. And actually a lot of the girls that I sign up are introverts like I am. I always say I'm much cooler on social media than I am in person. I'm such an introvert. But a lot of them are like that too. So they don't want to get on the phone with me right away. They want to get the training and they want to connect with me that way.
So in your sneak peek, you just do it for 2 days. What do you cover in that?
So the first day we talk about, of course, usually I'll run it with one of my diamonds. So we'll say our story, how we got started as a coach. We talk about who makes a good coach and what we actually do as coaches. Because I think a lot of people see a lot of Team Beachbody coaches, but they don't really know what we do. So we just kind of go over we run challenge groups, we can run free groups, that's how we meet new people, we create relationships. So the first day is really about who makes a great coach, which essentially anyone can make a great coach as long as you're willing to learn. And what we do as coaches. And the second day is all about a basic understanding of our compensation plan and then how to get signed up. So it's super simple too. So it's keeping people excited within the first 2 days, and then they get signed up, and then they get really all the information.
Darby, do you run your 10-day for your entire downline?
I do. So anybody in my downline can add their new coaches in there.
Okay.
And Darby, you did say with this 10-day into coaching that you actually keep the previous coaches in there. So if they wanted to look at additional information but they're still involved, correct?
Right. So it's the same group that I've had since I want to say, I think May, and I just changed it. It said May, and that was October, but I just delete all the posts. They're already still in there, and then I just add all the new coaches. And I don't add all my whole downline's new coaches. That's their responsibility. But I post the link in my team page, and they can add their coaches.
Do you have assignments that go with your trainings? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so the content will have like assignments. So it'll say like when it's like there's a branding video, like how to brand yourself on social media, and it'll be like post your top 3 takeaways. Or with the mindset ones, like it's usually post your top 3 takeaways, or it's when I'm talking about we're going to run a challenge group together, how to invite to a challenge group. I want them to screenshot them and actually inviting people to a challenge group. So it's super simple stuff, but it is accountability. Like I want to see that they're actually doing it.
After your 10 days, is there another training you do, or is that pretty much like, all right?
No, that's it. Just the 10 days, and then they're all in my team page. So my entire downline, my team page, and then if they're my personally sponsored coach, once they make Emeralds, then they have kind of more access to me.
Cool. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if there's not any other questions, tell me. I mean, I know a lot of you probably do it kind of similar, maybe a little bit longer, maybe even a little bit shorter. But kind of talk to me and tell me your process, if you don't mind, because I know we can all learn exactly from this. So, do any of you mind chiming in, sharing exactly what's worked well for you?
I can share.
Thank you.
So I used to just have an album in my big team page. That was a 14-day self-led training, because I found that me running the group was, it's a lot of effort for me. And I feel like the ROI is the same for them doing it. Like the people that want to do it, that want to work the business, are going to be motivated to do it on their own or not. So what we do is we tag, add people, to the team page, and then talk to them. We have a once a month getting started right call that I run with my success partner, and that goes over everything. And then, so it's like a webinar kind of thing. We do it on Zoom with a big slideshow, whatever. So after that, then we tag people in the training and say, tag your coach as you go through and complete the assignments. And then we celebrate them on the team page if they're a 14-day Smart Start graduate. So that's what I was doing. Because of Rosa's call, which I talked about last week, what I'm doing now, this is just the second month that I've done it, is because I'm getting a lot more people. I just started running sneak peeks again recently, so I'm getting people that are wanting to work the business more so than just discount coaches. So I now will add them all. I do my sneak peek usually the 3rd week of the month, and they have the next week to enroll, and then I start a 5-day mentorship group the first week of the month. So right now I have a 5-day mentorship group going where I add the new coaches in. I have them introduce themselves. I've kind of pair them up or have them friend request each other so that they feel like they're a part of a community, and do 5-day mentorship. And then on the following Monday, so next Monday, I will tell them about a free clean eating challenge group that we're going to run together, so that they're like inviting this week and getting some yeses, and it's just a free group. And then Monday for lunch, and then on Sunday and Monday, the 16th and the 17th, I will do a sneak peek into a challenge group, which I kind of talked about a little bit last week. And then after they go through the 5-day mentorship, while we're running the clean eating group, I'll ask who wants to continue with the training, and pretty much all of them say yes, even though not all of them do the assignments. And then I will tag them into the 14-day Smart Start, and I have that group open every month, and then I will shout them out. And I got this from that call, so if you guys want more information on this, I mean, I've tweaked it to how I wanted to do it, but I got it from that call that I posted that Rosa Friesen did. But I will shout them out in that group, so I'll keep open that 5-day mentorship group and ask them who it was that they helped. And so then that way Success Club points aren't numbers. They get to learn the people behind them. So I'll shout them out all month, and then I will remove those people and add in at the end of the month, and then they'll be added into my personally sponsored team page as well as my big team page. So they'll still get me, but I will remove them from that group and then add in my coaches that I signed this month and do it again next month and just kind of recycle the posts. So that's what I'm doing now.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. I love it. 2 completely different views and different ways of doing it, but still very successful. Anything else, ladies? Anything that you do or something that you're wanting to start incorporating into your, into your mentorships or into your trainings? I think the biggest thing at this point, and let me just add this on and then we can move forward, but traveling out in the field 2 weeks ago, I was in Texas. And literally talking to coaches, about the amount of information that you guys can get is a lot. And we know that, there's a lot thrown out at you. So with that being said, make sure, whatever you can do to simplify it, to make it very, that they need to know, the nice to know will come eventually, but what do they need to know? And any way that you can really, keep them from not getting that overwhelmed is most important. So I love the fact that you're taking it, shorter. It's not 30 days, and like both of you said, the workers, the ones that are going to rise to the top are going to do it without, any further push of it. So with that being said, just make sure, any way possible is that you can just simplify it, make it your own, make it you. I love the fact of, live videos of you so you can really start to connect. And I remember when Micah Folsom said that she didn't do a GSR, and I remember thinking like, she doesn't do a GSR, but it makes sense. If it's taking a lot of time away and they are not going, they're more apt to not ask a ton of questions because they don't feel comfortable. They don't know what to ask. I love the fact that they can ask them within the group because then they feel more comfortable too. So, there's not a wrong way to this. You just have to find a rhythm that works best for you. Do any other of you ladies want to share what's working really well for you?
I can share just because I got it from someone. Is Shelly Hine?
Yep.
Okay. So is it working? I hope so. Like, I've changed it like 87,000 times based upon just the basic coach basics. And truth be told, what I've done in the past didn't work. So she posted, oh my gosh, somewhere. It was in one of these groups. And she posted, she got her new coach training from someone else. So I took it and recreated it. Because what it did was basically show them the foundation of everything. It shows them the foundation of everything they need to know to start. And it was I also liked it because I remember Brittany Leggett did a national wake-up call a long time ago about wanting to teach her coaches how to earn right away. I just putting Success Club and it all out there. So it's bit by bit, like step one is literally go to the coach online office and here's how to find your website. And then it goes a little bit further and further into more detail. And they check off a box. And then when they're done, that's when I'll do my GSR. So that way it's up to them. That way, to me, it's not pressure. Like if it's been 2 weeks, I'll be like, hey, I don't give them a lot of my time. Oh, I haven't gotten around to it. So I'm like, but then there's those that, I had 2 yesterday. So God willing, and they were able, I'm like, you come to me when you're done and you come to me with questions. And then we'll go from there. So that's what I've been doing. And I love the format of it. I like what Darby does too. That's really good. So, I don't know that there's a wrong way.
There isn't. I think it really comes down to doing a call to action. Danielle Natoni is famous for this. Is literally like once you get done with this, text me. So then you get their phone number, they have your phone number, and literally then that they have gone through the steps and they deserve your time. And then from there you can decide where to take them next. I think the biggest thing, ladies, is just remember. One of the best things that you can do with your expectation process when you're setting them up is let them know how long you're going to work with them. Let them know for the next 60 days. Literally, when we're talking about time management, your new coaches deserve your time for the first 90 days. But if you tell them 90 days, guess how long they're going to hold on? 89, 90 days, right? So if you tell them for the next 30 to 60 days, I'm going to hold your hand, I'm going to hold you accountable, I'm going to be there for you, then they have an idea of they need to jump in immediately because you're going to give them all the tools for success in those first 30, 60 days. And if they linger on to 90 and they're doing the process and all those things, obviously you'll know when. But that still cuts into you running your business is those first coaches in those first 90 days because you're giving them all the tools to success. From there, if you give them everything and they still just pitter patter, you know where to place your time with them. But just make sure you're giving them all the tools to success so then you can literally step back and say, I gave them everything. Now they just have to run with it. They have to find a why bigger than themselves to go after this. Okay. But I would say set a time frame on it because if not, you literally will be holding their hand now until forever.
I think one of the things too that I was just talking to a couple of the leaders in my organization, they're like, we are independent Beachbody coaches, and I think so many of us get caught up in the fact that we have to mentor these people. And it's like, they do have the tools. I mean, if we wanted to be jerks, we could say, go to the Coach Online office. The training is right there for you. And I think so many of us as leaders, we get so caught up feeling like we've got to spoon feed these people, when I don't know about you guys, but when I started, there was nothing, and the back office was jumbled mess of videos, and I literally watched it, and I literally went to YouTube and searched Beachbody coaches and watched what I could. And I think that sometimes we do a disservice of like the panic mode that we get into as leaders, and this mindset that we are required to mentor them and make them what they are, when a lot of times it's like, yeah, let's keep the process simple of like, hey, I've failed forward a lot. Here's what I know. Here are our best practices. And yeah, I mean, I think we have to do what works and, figure it out to like best help them along. But at the end of the day, we are independent coaches. We are working for ourselves. Just something to remember. But for us, we just started this a couple months ago, and we took the Coach Basics from the back office, which is funny because I was so against it. I don't know why, but I was like, I love my process. And then I look back and go, my process sucks. It's not even working. So I took Coach Basics and I condensed it. I took out the kind of the emerald portion. I don't know if that's phase 3 of training or whatnot, but I condensed the first 2 phases into a crash course. So we call it crash course. And we kind of spun it to make it our own. But for the most part, we utilized it. And I love it because it gets them comfortable with posting on social media, and it gets them into personal development. It gets them talking about their workouts, because that's kind of the check-in. And then it makes them have an action step of what to post for that day. So I really like that. I mean, I think that, I don't know, I really like Darby's 10-day. That sounds amazing to me. So I don't know, just tweaking it here and there. But we just started the Coach Crash course, and it's a lot because we do a post in the morning and a post in the evening. So they know like, hey, it's a crash course. coming in, this is crash course. You are going to be checking in this page multiple times a day for your assignments. So like the people that want to run with this business will. And yeah, so they're getting that first 2 phases of Coach Basics in 14 days. So that's what we do.
I love it, Lindsay. And I know Alexis wants to comment. I just want to say real quick with the Coach Basics, I love the fact that you made it your own. And I've had plenty of coaches that take that process and condense it even further. So do what works best for you. But it is amazing because I know when Kim was putting that all together, it was all about accountability and action. So if you haven't had an opportunity to look at it and you need more content, I don't know if you need more content or another direction, look at that and really see if it will work for you. So I love that you brought that up. Alexis, what did you want to say?
Well, I was first of all just going to say I totally agree with you, Lindsay, in that we can't make these people do anything. And I was actually just talking to some of my leaders, and I'm like, I actually feel like the amount of information we give them is a disservice. Like I really do. Like sometimes I'm like, there's too much noise now. Whereas when I signed up, I didn't have anything and I just figured it out. And, and it's like, I just feel like the more information and the more systems we have, the more systems we have, the less people I feel like make it to the top. I don't know. Anyways, but our new system that I just started, I was going to share quick too. I'm actually really liking it. I can't say for sure if it's working yet or not, but in my new coach email, I send a virtual GSR, and it's me screen sharing in the back office, kind of showing some very important pieces back there. And then we actually I screen share on some leaders' like pages and show what quality content looks like and talk a lot about social media and stuff like that. So that's kind of in there. And then in the new coach email, it tells them they have to fill out their business quick start and text it to me. So then they're kind of texting me and showing. And if they don't text me, and I don't hunt them down. Like I just don't hunt people down anymore. And I have a lot less people that are hitting Success Club and stuff right now, but I'm just trying to see how this works because I'm just so sick of like making people do stuff, So then if they send me the business quick start, then I tell them they can go to my Acuity scheduling link and set up a live GSR. So it's like a live follow-up call kind of, because at that point I'm like, okay, they watched the video, they filled the business quick start out, they texted me, I'll get on the phone with you now for a couple minutes and kind of lead you to the next place. And then we've actually completely taken Coach Basics out, and now we just have a video that if they get to this point and they get on the phone with me, I send them a video of how to be a successful Beachbody coach. And then we have a social media training boot camp that we do every month, and that's it. So very different. And like I said, we've only been doing it for this is like our second month now, so I can't say for sure. But again, it's like we always have new coaches every month that are rock stars and that rise to the top. And I don't feel like it matters that much if we put them in a Coach Basics or not. I hate to say that, but
that's true.
That's just my take.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think, bottom line, people who are going to do it, they're going to do it regardless. And, like Lindsay was saying, when I signed up as a coach, like almost 5 years ago, which sounds crazy, we didn't have anything. So like figuring stuff out, like we were on YouTube, we just knew who the top coaches were. So we would go to their page and see what they were doing. And it's like now I feel like we're creating like spoiled children. Like we're just giving them so much that they're just like, oh, I'm just going to sit back and I already have all this information. I don't need to really do it. So I think right now, this is working for me, but the 10 days, just that expectation, like I'm here with you in the trenches, 10 days, I'm going to be here. And, and even in messages. So like if they message me and they're a newer coach, within that 10 days, that'll be a top priority message that I answer. But after that, of course I'm going to answer them, but it's not going to be top priority. So I always get frustrated. I know, I'm sure you do too, when newer coaches write you like, how do I find my link? Where do I go? Everything in your inbox, right? So I was feeling like that this morning because my new coach training just started yesterday. And then my devotional this morning was, if you think you are too important to help someone, you are only fooling yourself. You are not that important. So I feel like setting that expectation, I know, crazy, right? Set that expectation for the first 10 days. Like, this is when you get me 100%, I'm in it. And if I can just focus on not having those feelings towards all the stupid questions, like we consider stupid because we know they can just Google it. For just the first 10 days, then they get all the information. I'm doing my job as their upline, and then from there, let them fly out of the nest.
And, never mind. I kind of had a brain fart. I had a comment and then I just completely forgot it as I started talking. So go ahead, Brittany.
I was wondering. I'm sorry. Would you guys be willing? Do you guys do like a new coach checklist? Because I know that it seems lately that I've got, I don't know if I'm attracting this type of person because it's not me. But they're like, just give me a list. Like, what do I need to do? Do you guys have a checklist that you'd be willing to share? Because I don't have one, and I think I need one.
Yeah, I have one I can share.
Thanks, Alexis.
Yeah.
Mine has a box, like, they complete and understand an assignment. So, I mean, it's not kind of sort of the same.
Just share them in a group. That would be amazing. So then that way you can, find your own. But see, and you're attracting, Lindsay, people like me, because literally I need like check it off, done, finish through, move forward. So it's kind of funny how we all attract different than us, and it does kind of throw you in a little bit of a tailspin. But figure it out, because you'll have crazy people like me who like lists and to accomplish those lists. So.
And yeah. I'm all about it. I'm like, yes, I will attract those people any day. Like, check it out.
Right. I just remembered what I was going to say. I would love to maybe do this as another topic, because this just made me think of what I used to do with my whole system. And I felt like I would hold hands for 90 days and I would have rock stars for 90 days. And then it was like the 90 days would come to an end and all my people would fall off. And it was like heartbreaking, because I would literally have people come on and hit Success Club 20 for 3 months in a row. And then I'd never hear from them again. And so how to continue the process past that 90 days or something. Cause I think that's where my weak point has kind of always been. Like, I can drag people for a while and they'll do really well, and then I lose them, I don't know.
No, I love that topic. What do you ladies think?
Yeah, that's good. How to get people to actually work on their own.
right?
But then again, I think to myself, like, it's probably that they just weren't the right person, right? I mean, you know, like at the end of the day, it's the right people are going to stick it out. And I don't know. Just a thought.
No, I think it's a great topic because if you think about it, it may come down to the expectations that you set with them. It's like, you know, because at this point, I mean, we have to be honest, you have to get them up past diamond, up to 2-star diamond before they'll ever have a team because, you know, it's easy to quit before then. So I agree, like continuing education or continuing them on their journey or whatever it may be. So would we all be in agreement that that's a good topic for next time? So continuing on with, and we'll figure out a good term for that. Okay, very cool. Is there anything else, ladies, that you would love to share?
Yeah, I wanted to share just a little bit. Here a link to the form that I'm using, but I have 4 biological children and 1 who's not mine living in my household, 3 animals. My husband is self-employed and works crazy hours an hour away from here, and I don't have time to be somebody's mama if they're not flesh and blood in my house. And I've been a coach 5.5 years. And I got so burned out with the hand holding. And I didn't sign on to be a coach, to be somebody's mother, to be their boss, to be their hand holder. And as a very encouraging, empathic person who wants everybody on my team to be friends, that was a really hard aha moment for me to have. So I am not currently running any trainings for my team except for the occasional push group usually for push to diamond, like maybe quarterly. But I'm using Ashley Smith, who's climbing ranks so quickly in the network. She did a call for my team probably 6 months ago, and it was so liberating. She uses Google Forms to train her coaches, and I'm using that, and I love it. So basically, what you shared, Darby, what all of you have shared is all in like a Google form, and it has a little box where they check off, I watched this video, and I now understand the compensation plan. Check. And they can't move on to the next section of the form until they've completed the first one and so forth. And at the very end, it says, congratulations, please text me that you finished this form. So they text me, and I give them a wonderful personal message via text message. And then when I do recognition graphics that week, they get a huge shout out on the team page as being a graduate of the new coach training form. And then at that point, I just tell them, okay, look, now your job is to stay plugged in on the National Wake Up Call, team calls, and in our team page. And I'm using that same concept to run team-wide challenge groups. I'll create a Google form where it's me walking someone basically through the 5-step process. And I'm using phrases like, you're invited to our challenge group, not mine. Our challenge group. Your coach will help you decide what challenge pack is right for you. And at the end, their call to action is, if this feels like a good fit for you, if this challenge group's a good fit for you, contact your coach and she'll help you decide what's the best fit for your fitness goals, pricing options, and so on and so forth. So my newer coaches can take that form that's all me doing all the talking for them, and they're not only learning that process, but they can hand that off to their prospects. And so I'm having new coaches getting Success Club points at higher and higher rates. They're not always hitting Success Club, but I have more coaches earning points than ever before. And I'm not hand-holding. I'm not on the phone. I hate GSRs. I don't have time to talk on the phone. And I'm starting to love my business again. So I'll be happy to share those links with you guys, but I hate training, and I don't want to be on the phone. And that's just, I want to be free. That's why I do this.
Love it.
I love your honesty. Yep. Yeah. If you will share that, that'll be amazing with us. So if you have anything to share, please do it in the 6 and 7 Star Diamond group. Other than that, we'll move our topics to next week to exactly that. What to do after the 90 days or after the 10 days or whatever it may be to continue their education and their everything of that sort. So we'll move on from that. But thank you so much, ladies, for participating. Thank you, Darby, for sharing. Ashley, Alexis, Christine, Lindsay. Oh my gosh, Marianne, Miranda, and Jen, I know you were still there. So thank you, ladies. I really, truly appreciate it. Great call today. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you all very soon, okay?
Bye.
Bye.